Every Blue Lock character explained in 32 minutes. Now, just a heads up, this list will be in ABC order, and starting off our list at the top, we have Adam Blake, a pro player, part of the World 5 that is also the top scorer in the Premier League. He also may be slightly homophobic, I don't know. Augie, the walking Enderman himself, tall, black, and weirdly stares into the soul. On the England U20 team, I think, and called the Doctor because of his weird analytical way he deeply thinks about other characters and their playstyles. He can jump high like a kangaroo and has super high soccer IQ. We'll probably see more of him after the U20 France match. Aiku, known as the final wall on the original Japanese U20 team. A strong captain known for his insane defensive capabilities, and truthfully, out of the entire original team, he's the only one who's not actually kind of dog shit at the game. Can actually have high impact in high level games. He's also a womanizer and low-key kind of a whore. Currently captain of the Block U20 team for the U20 World Cup. Henri, one of the directors of Block alongside Ego, known for being the best bitch across every universe, across every anime. Probably only put in the story as eye candy for the straight men, since this show is 99.9% men, but let's be real, if you read Block, you're probably at least 5% fruity. And a fun fact about Henri is she is my wife. Don't fact check that. The glam goat himself, Aryu, used to be ranked 2 in Block, which when now looking back was absurd glaze, but still nonetheless an extremely strong player. Defensive goat and learned martial arts to become an unsurpassable wall when taking 1v1 duels as seen in the Nigeria match. This guy literally only cares about one thing, being as sexy as possible and nothing else. Currently on the U20 Japan World Cup starting lineup, and a fun fact about Aryu is that one of my Discord members scales him as rank 1 in Block. So yeah. Batra, a carefree soul who is basically just Ronaldinho reincarnated, originally started on the worst team, Team Z with Isagi, and was pretty much the very first character we saw in the entire story with real ego during the tag game. And then consistently throughout the rest of the series, he's just been non-stop farming in every game he's been in. Saved Isagi and Team Z single-handedly during the Team V game, kept farming in every game afterwards. Then in season 3, farmed and carried FC Barca in every game. And now finally in the Nigeria World Cup game, he was literally the MVP of the match, scoring 1 goal and 3 assists. Truly a goat. Some fun facts about bro is he does not like to wear clothes, or regularly running around with his bare ass cheeks out. Although, I feel most of y'all already knew this. The king of Blue Lock, Baro. Starting out as a blindly egotistical monkey, but after being put in a leash by Isagi, he tastes true defeat for the first time, causing him to rebuild from zero. After rebuilding himself as Isagi's rival, he awakens, scoring miracle goals time after time. A true joker that when you throw into any game, you literally never know what can happen. During the NEL arc, he was the nucleus of Ubers, where because he was so good, every single play resolved solely around him, and he scored 7 goals in the NEL arc, tied for first place with the likes of Rin Itoshi, currently rotting on the bench of the U20 team. Some fun facts include he's a neat freak, bad at making friends, and loves to go bowling. Bello is a player for the Nigerian U20 team who's relatively decent, but honestly nothing special. Fun fact about Bello is he has no parents. Burasuda is the chairman of the Japan Football Union. He's a greedy, fat old man who literally only cares about money and nothing else, known for continuously going against Ego's Blue Lock, even though it's clearly working, and is starting a Blue Lock Side B program for monetary purposes, which includes a lot of the block dropouts, including Nagi. A fun fact about Barasuda is he has diabetes from being a fat shit. Bunny, one of the new Gen 11 players who's currently playing for Spain in the U20 World Cup. We see him fairly easily scoring goals in pro games along Lavinia. From what we can tell, he may also be a rival to Sai, as Sai literally fucking hates this guy from what we can see. Probably the guy who ruined Sai's dream of being a striker, but we don't know for sure. And he's literally the only reason we will get to see our glorious King Sai play in this arc. Charles, a 15-year-old French super prodigy. He has a metavision, high soccer IQ, and is top 5 passer in the show that we've seen so far. He's a contrarian, so if you tell him anything, he will do the opposite. He's lazy and unmotivated, but even still, Loki puts up with them since his raw potential is insane. He tends to like people the more unhinged and freaked out they are, which is why he and Shido go together like peanut butter and jelly. He also has a weird habit of speaking in emojis, so I'm definitely curious how they're going to animate that in season 3. Overall, a peak character who we are already seen fuck Japan in the U20 World Cup. Finally, getting to another main character, we have Chigiri. As a kid, he was a speed prodigy who lived to run past shitters. Unfortunately, after breaking his leg or something, he thought his dream was dead. Until in Blue Lock, Isagi finally convinces him to stop being a beta monkey and live to fight for his dreams once again. He eventually locks in, scoring a super goal, being reawakened once more. He continues to farm Elo and Blue Lock all the way through the Neo Egos League, where he carries Manshine with the sinking fucking gay ship of Ryu and Nagi, whilst also developing his 44-degree shot. Currently the fastest member of Block and also starting on the U20 Japanese team. Some fun facts is he was sexually assaulted by Otoya, gets mistaken for a femboy constantly, and half his elementary class tried cracking him in one day. But on top of all this, he also has some goated opinions, with his favorite song being Bluebird from Naruto and his favorite manga being Attack on Titan. Shigure knows ball. Unfortunately, as you know, it's only a matter of time before his leg's gonna snap in half and wheelchair Shigure will be canon. Cho, a fat nobody from the original U20 team, trash of the game, but a fun fact is he likes stuffing hot dogs in his mouth. Look, yeah. Next up is Fraud Prince, the supposed world's number 2. Apparently one of the best pros in the world, but gets consistently diffed by 17-year-old. He has the best physique in the show and has a one-sided rivalry with Noel Noah. He ain't gonna let you crack, little bro. Dada, one of the World 5 pros in Season 1. He currently plays for the Brazilian national team and comes off as near brain dead with immense strength. I'm sorry, but I cannot respect anyone with buck teeth like that. Especially when you're a pro with a fucking multi-million-dollar salary. Like, dude, go get some braces. I'm not gonna bother trying to pronounce this name. Another U20 shitter who literally is complete ass and couldn't do anything the second he joined the Neo Egoist League. His motto is to have a shadow as strong as your light. And he has a fetish for gloomy people. Huh? Bro likes those emo baddies. He just like me for real. Ego. Now, getting to the true goat of the show, the main director of the entire Block project, probably the smartest character in the entire show and kind of viewed as a divine figure amongst everyone else. His dream is to create the world's best striker, and that's why he made Block. And on top of everything, he used to be rivals with the current world's number 1, Noel Noah. Arguably had the highest peak performance out of anyone in the verse, when for 7 minutes in his pro career, he was literally guided by God himself. What? Now, we don't know what happened in those 7 minutes, but I would wager he was unstoppable. And a random fun fact is if he were deserted on an island and can only bring one thing, he would choose a knife because, and I quote, "I'd choose to live or die by my own hand." Chad. Bro has infinite aura and not much else to say. Next up, we have Bumkaku, the original goalie from the Japanese trash U20 team. Bro got outperformed in his position by a guy who's never played goalie even one time in his life. Somehow, though, he actually makes it to the U20 World Cup team, which I only think happens because the author needs a backup goalie in case Gagamaro can't be in goal. Yeah, he's a bum who doesn't deserve rights. If he had a time machine, he'd go back in time to meet the mother that died before he could remember. Next up, though, a true goated character we just mentioned is Goat Maro. Currently the best goalie in the entire verse with a 16-inch schlong. Only player in the entire verse we see able to make scorpion shots. Stopped a full flow Shido with one of the craziest saves in the show. Plus, he's a starter on the current U20 Japanese team. Also, the most powerful character in the show, able to 1v1 bears in the woods barehanded and wear their skin like a suit of armor. He is the most aura in the entire show and is one of, if not the only character in the entire show who's never had fraud allegations. Fun facts include he likes Naruto, Frieren, Peak, likes raw meat like the Liver King, and finally his fetish is physical beauty, be it for humans or animals. Let's just pretend we didn't see that. Maybe that's why this bear is so scared of him. Hayate, another useless U20 Japanese dog who got his elo boosted by IQ. He, as well as most of the U20 team, gets kicked out of Block after the NEL arc. He does like my hero though, so he's not all bad. Next up, we have my glorious femboy goat Hiyori, born to a second place judoist and a second place gymnast. I think I'm too lazy to fact check this. Both of his parents were second place bums, and instead of being an egoist trying to get number 1 themselves, they married for the sole purpose of creating a child to fulfill their dreams of being the greatest at something. So Hiyori grew up grinding soccer without actually liking it. He was invited to Block where he was happy to get away from his parents. Without trying too hard, he made it to the top 35 where he met Isagi on Bastard. Isagi finally lights the fire under his ass like he did with Chigiri, making Hiyori actually try for the first time, where you find out he's kind of a prodigy. One of the smartest players in Block, Metavision, one of the best dribblers, and on top of it, the best passer in Block. Fun fact is he's a gamer, he is a fucking sadist, and his fetish are broken women? What? He's low-key evil going after the broken women because they're easier to manipulate or something. And also, a final fun fact is Hiyori is half black. So if he really wanted to do it at the end of games, he could rip it when he's angry. Although I strongly advise against this. Hugo is the newest New Gen 11 player we were introduced to a few chapters ago. He plays on the French U20 team along with Loki and Charles. He's a center midfielder who seems to be a little mentally unwell, but you know, that's more or less every block character. And as of now, that's more or less all we know. Next up, we have Goat Guri, arguably the character in the show that went from being the most hated to the most loved within the recent chapters. Originally the absolute worst member of Block, he had no redeeming qualities and just sucks at soccer. But he wagered everything joining Block in order to not have to take over his family's shitty temple, and luckily he actually does get a small pro offer before inevitably getting kicked out of Block. His only ability is suicide bombing into other characters, as seen in the PXG game, and some fun facts include he's bald, drippy, and canonically the second worst with women in the entire show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT we were all waiting for, my glorious Metavision, two-gun volley, sexy, perfect, ambidextrous Demon King GOAT Yoichi Isagi, the main character of our entire story, and currently Blue Lock's rank 1, tied along with Ren Itoshi, being the starting forward of our U20 Japanese team. He started as the second worst player in all of Blue Lock, but slowly throughout the story kept adapting and evolving, as he has the ability to break himself down and rebuild as many times as it takes to take down any opponent in front of him. He's the smartest character in Blue Lock, along with the best Metavision user, one of the best shooters, one of the best offensive players, and one of the best defensive players. Nothing he really can't do when given pieces to work with, and has the absolute best weapon in the entire verse in being the Maharaga of the show, being able to seemingly adapt to anything and everything when given enough time. Also, not even to mention being the greatest demon in the show, having S tier shit talk like nothing I've ever seen before. Overall, my GOAT and destined to be the greatest striker in the world. And some fun facts include having a 19-inch wiener and having a thigh fetish. Just like me, for real. Overall, my GOAT and favorite character in the show. Really quick, don't want to take too much time out of the video, but I do have a Patreon. If you want to watch me react to the Block manga, One Piece, Frieren, or JJK, along with all these other shows, the link in the description below. If it sounds cool, check it out. Now, quite the drop of going from Isagi to the bum Imamura, the actual true worst player on Team Z, worse than Igaguri. This guy has no skills and is genuinely awful. His only motivation is women, and God knows he gets none. And the fun fact is he has a micro penis, and the last time he flirted with a girl, she slapped him in the face. Ishikari, a tall player that is arguably one of the most forgettable players in the entire show, as apparently he was in the Neo Egoist League. And a weird fun fact is that he actually likes basketball more than soccer. And considering he's so tall, I don't know exactly what he's doing in Block, but his favorite manga is Dragon Ball since he wants to crack Android 18. Just like me, for real. Next up is a fan favorite in Kaiser. Growing up in an abusive household in Germany, he eventually gets framed for a crime he didn't commit, and when his dad tries to pop his soccer ball, something snaps within him as he takes out 7 police officers with a soccer ball while being handcuffed. What? Get Chad. Ray Dark saw this and told him he would get him out of jail if he played soccer. And the rest is history. A current New Gen 11 member with the fastest kick and shot in the world called Kaiser Impact. At first, a super egotistical player who thought he was above everyone until Isagi, like many others, came into his world, shattering it, causing him to spiral into a schizo monkey. Eventually, though, he has an awakening and making one of the greatest shots of all time, giving him an offer to Real, the strongest club team in the world. Currently on the U20 team, farming countries in the U20 World Cup. Some fun facts include on his days off, he thinks about people he wants to kill. His fetish are faces of despair. And when he wakes up, he stands in the mirror, butt naked, telling himself nothing is impossible. Okay, sure. And contrary to popular belief, he is tied as my third favorite character along with Nagi. Next up, we have Karasu, an insanely smart midfielder who's always been near the top of Block ranks. He has Metavision, and for some reason, my Discord mod glazes him. Unfortunately for him, he's just typically on teams where he gets overshadowed by players like Rin, Shido, Isagi, etc. Currently a starter for the Japanese U20 team. Some fun facts include being scared of water and having a voice fetish. Okay. Editor's note from me in the future, but Karasu in this last chapter was tough as fuck. Now we've made it to the absolute bum of Blue Lock, my least favorite character in the show, Kira, apparently the crown jewel of Japanese soccer, but still barely beats Isagi's dog shit high school team, instantly loses in episode 1 of Blue Lock to Goat Sagi, then later joins Blue Lock side B with the sole purpose to destroy Isagi and Blue Lock. Like, little bro, you suck ass. Ego stated you were not fit to be a striker and you should go fuck yourself. The only reason he won't get insta eliminated in the side B program is because Nagi's boosting him in the first game. Some fun facts about Kira is he eats crayons, sniffs glue, sucks ass at soccer, has a micro penis, has 8 chromosomes, is ugly, gets no bitches, smells like cheese, is morbidly obese, likes small children, has a crush on his cousins, and yeah, I don't know, pretty much any other bad thing you can think of. Next up though, we have Kiora. This guy's whole shtick is about being on the borderline and typically siding with the underdog. We pretty much saw him do nothing in the entire manga other than assist Kaiser with 1 goal, but other than that, nothing. Some fun facts are he loves Vagabond and his favorite character is Musashi, goated. And what's not goated is the fact that he is a sweat fetish. Ew. Kunigami. Once an actual good character wanting to be a soccer superhero, but when sent to the depths of the 2v2 matches, he unfortunately ran into Shido where he and Ryo got farmed. Shido picked Ryo and Kunigami was kicked at a block. Now, normally the story would end here, but Blue Lock had a second pathway for losers where the person who could get as physically close to Noah would come back as the lone dark horse. Unfortunately for us, he comes back being an emo to the extreme of fuck and becomes fully unlikable. I can't stand how emo he acts to all his friends, and this wannabe mysterious monkey is just so annoying. He refuses to act nice to anyone and is just miserable to be around. If he just stopped being so annoying, I'd go back to liking him again, but until that, he just happens to be down here as one of my most disliked characters. He's currently rotting on the U20 Japanese bench, and a weird fun fact about Emogami is that his fetish is the neck, and he's canonically bisexual. Maybe that's why he's always staring at Shiguri. Bro's busting thinking about his neck. Kuon has to be the absolute dumbest character in the show. He makes a deal with this shit team to let him score 3 goals, and in exchange, he'll give them information on Team Z and throw in their game. Okay, so hear me out on this one. Give the enemy fake info, and then don't betray your own team. Get your 3 goals and then backstab the enemy team instead of your own team. Wow. Genuinely brain dead. He deserved to get his ass beat by Raichi just off the sheer brain deadness of it all. Some interesting facts include he has a fetish for hairlessness. Okay. And then on top of it, his favorite manga is Spy X Family. That'd be so for real. Cool in the type of guy to have an Anya body pillow. Weirdo freak. Corona is the goated shark fiend like Beam. He was Usagi's little minion in the Manshine game and was a great supportive player. Also, he has this weird tick where he repeats words a lot twice for some reason. Currently on Japan's U20 team on the bench. A fun fact is his favorite player is Lamine Yamal. God can only hope he doesn't follow in that guy's footsteps. Next up is Kuso, the captain of the Nigeria U20 team. A relatively good midfielder who kind of just had the unfair matchup of Blue Lock round 1. Also grew up in the same orphanage as Bella from earlier. One fun fact is the word Kuso literally translates to shit in Japanese. So yeah, there's that. Next up, we have Goat Lavinho, the dancer, a Brazilian pro that plays for FC Barça alongside Bunny, whilst being the top scorer of his league. He's a laid-back, chill dude and probably the greatest dribbler in the entire verse. His character is seemingly based on Ronaldinho and Neymar. One of the GOAT and one of the frauds. Originally on Team Z in Season 1, he was shoved in goal and did nothing the entire season. His only feat is saving the ball from Rayo 1 time. Loki though, without that save, Isagi never goes pro. Overall, though, he's ass at soccer, and we never even get to see him shoot that ball. Currently kicked at a block and probably working at McDonald's. Now, probably the worst fun fact on this entire list. Remember how earlier I said Igaguri ranked second to worst when it came to women? Well, yeah, you guessed it. Lemon ranks canonically as the absolute bottom in getting bitches in the entire verse. Imagine being that much of a virgin where the ladies prefer Igaguri over you. Now, cutting back to players with actual talent, we have Loki, the greatest threat to Noah at the moment at becoming the world's greatest striker. The fastest character in the entire verse. His first appearance was in Season 1, farming everyone until he eventually rematched Isagi in the Enel arc, where Isagi slapped him with his fat cock. Loki took that shit personally, and now in the U20 World Cup is currently bending him over, asserting dominance once again. Overall, a super prodigy who's literally based on Mbappe. Both are French. Black Speed Merchants, and both are on PXG and PSG respectively. And one weird fun fact is that he hates potato chips. So what I'm hearing is his taste buds are screaming and they never had peak. Lorenzo, another super prodigy, was a homeless bum until for some reason Snuffy met him and decided to slave him out as his minion. Somehow with very little experience, he instantly shot up to a new gen 11 player, becoming the best defensive center back in the entire world under 20 years old as the Ace Eater. He only views people in terms of money, and in his mind, that's all that matters. He has all gold teeth and is overall just a cool character. And I know you all think I like to slander him, but low-key, after doing some research, kind of goated, bro. His favorite hobbies include gambling and reading JJK. We all know who his favorite character is. Next up, another World 5 member is Luna, known as the Scion of Real, a top world-class player, and that's more or less all we know about him for now. Now, ladies and gents, we have my GOAT and second main character, Nagi Seishiro. Started off as a lazy bum who just wanted to sit around, play video games, and goon all day. Everything changed when Reo found him and realized his potential. He dragged him to play soccer, where over time he realized that being fired up about something gives life meaning. Eventually farming Elo and Blue Lock as he tears through people in seasons 1, 2, and 3, but after peaking in the middle of season 3, his motivation and ego die out as he fumbles, eventually getting kicked out of Blue Lock. After a lot of soul searching, he decides to come back in his second chance Blue Lock program being run by Burasuda, and now you can just tell he's gonna farm in the second chance program as he's smurfing in low elo lobbies. Overall, tied with Kaiser as my third favorite character, and truthfully, although I looked, he has nearly zero fun facts. Next up, we have a bum fraud who truthfully didn't deserve to make top 23 in Nanase. The only reason he has any value is because Rin trained him up to be like his little slave to assist him in the PXG game. His only ability is being slightly ambidextrous and being mostly bad at everything else. Currently riding on the bench of the U20 Japanese team, and a fun fact is his favorite manga is Slam Dunk. Naruhaya. Genuinely a bottom 5 character in the show. This guy is a bum. Arguably the most useless member of Team Z, and instantly loses to Isagi in the 2v2s. Fuck his fun facts. Naru, another absolute trash can on the original U20 Japanese team. His favorite movie is Zootopia. A grown-ass man's favorite movie being Zootopia.
I'm 11 and I like this movie. It's good. I'm way older than 11. I want that bunny in my room. No.
Yeah, someone check his hard drive. Next up is definitely a character that gets a lot of mixed feeling towards him. Some hate him, some love him. Ness. I was someone who hated him for the longest time, but he grew some balls at the end of the NEL arc, so I'll give him some credit. He's a weird little creature who's unusually attached to another man. He views Kaiser as his god and would instantly start sucking if that was demanded of him. He has a sad face fetish, and if you could bring one thing to a deserted island, it would be Kaiser. Bro, this guy is so goofy. I can't eat. If he had a time machine, he would go to the past. I would go back to my old self and hug that child who believed in magic, the one that cried alone, and tell him, "You are fine, just the way you are." Now getting even closer to the bottom, we have Nico. Nico is a 4'3" manlet who's low-key just a Giga Walmart Isagi, and now resides as a defender with Metavision, who's currently on the starting lineup for defense on the U20 Japanese team. Next up, we have another bum from the original U20 team, Neo. Seems like a musclehead moron in the U20 game, and then after getting farmed, he joins the NEL just to instantly lose like the rest of his old shit team. And then some questionable facts is his motto is, "Once I bite, I never let go." Okay. And then let's pair that with his next fun fact. His strength is that he can never let his prey escape, whether it's soccer, friendship, or women. Huh? What do you mean you never let women escape like prey? This guy needs to be behind bars now. But next up is another fraud and bum. The guy with the messy nickname. Oh my God, this guy did nothing ever, and people were swearing up and down he was better than Ren and Isagi secretly. He was shit and got kicked out of Blue Lock in the NEL arc without us ever seeing a thing from him. Bum, fraud, fat. Now, someone who's not shit is Noel Noah, currently regarded as the world's greatest striker. He was an inspiration to Isagi throughout his entire life, which made it all the sadder when it turned out he was a massive dickhead. Luckily though, Isagi just uses it as more fuel to get better. The only thing I'll give him credit for is that he thinks people who chew with their mouths open are subhuman and we should kill all of them off, which he's not wrong. Now we have the turbo shitter nobody in Okawa. And now, first off, I know a lot of y'all are thinking it. No, not Oikawa, the Demon Lord supervillain goat. This is Okawa, the auraless monkey. Nico decided to actually abandon this idiot in the first selection, winning by goals himself. The only redeeming quality about this guy, like Isagi and I, is he loves older women with nice thighs. Next up is a familiar face in Onazi, someone who Block just absolutely bodied in the opening match of the U20 World Cup. Currently the A striker for the Nigerian U20 team, a prodigy player with the ability to jump extremely high, giving him access to aerial shots. Otoya is the ninja of Blue Lock, being able to perfectly weave in and out around people, consistently getting in their blind spots. Once top 4 in all of Blue Lock, but even though he fell off, he's still consistently a top 10 player. Unfortunately, even with all these skills, he's only on the bench for the U20 Japanese team. Some fun facts is he sexually assaulted Chigiri, he's low-key kind of a gooner, and the last time he cried was after getting slapped. Apparently, cheating on your girlfriend is a big no-no, and he wasn't aware. Next up is another one of the World 5 members who farmed Block in Season 1, a 23-year-old Argentinian prodigy who uses Metavision to farm people. And according to Tokamitsu, Pablo is the greatest free kicker in the world. Next up, we have my GOAT Raichi, the defensive demon himself. Kind of just started out as your typical schizo angry anime character on Team Z. Surprisingly, made it all the way to the top 23 members of Block, as he currently resides on the bench of the U20 team. But unlike a lot of the other players on the bench, he's already been subbed into the U20 World Cup once, as we saw against Nigeria, where he shut down Onazi. He even has the feat of slowing down Snuffy, if even for a little bit, in the Ubers match. Overall, just a goated character who I would love seeing at least getting 1 goal in this arc. And an interesting fact about Raichi is his ideal type of woman is the one who just sits the fuck back and supports him. Well, I mean, we better hope his future wife listens to him, or else she'll get the... Now, one of the richest characters in fiction, we have GOAT Ryo Mikage. Bro was a super prodigy in everything he did and was truly just bored in life until finally he saw them win the World Cup and decided that's what he wanted to do with his life. He's low-key a massive genius, as he realized he can more or less just copy any move he sees after the 2-week break. Currently in the starting lineup of the Japanese U20 team, and holy shit, he's insane. Without his gay boyfriend dragging him down, he's a true monster. We saw in the Nigeria game he was able to copy Bachira, fucking the team over, and then switching to Chigiri, hitting in the insane 44-degree shot. Overall, probably the second best weapon in the entire show, only being behind Isagi's absolute adaptation. And one interesting fact is that the first ever person to confess to him was his elementary school teacher. Who was this woman? Makima? Now we have one of the most dominant players in the entire series, Rin Itoshi, originally rank 1 in Block, and now 300 plus chapters later, still rank 1 Block. We haven't seen dominance like this in generations. Rin is an emo to the extremo character who's really bad at making friends. He's low-key kind of just like Sasuke and Itachi, where he hates his older brother and that's what motivates him to play soccer. He's literally the sole reason Rin's even playing the sport, because he just wants to destroy him. Although, as we've seen in recent chapters, he may actually be playing soccer for himself for once, as he seems to realize it's actually a little fun. He's also the greatest individual player in Blue Lock. Some interesting facts about Rin is he can Spider-Man jump over a speeding car. His favorite animal is the owl, and if it was his last day on Earth, he would spend it fighting with his brother. And speaking of his brother, we now have Sai, his brother, a giga super prodigy who was literally so goddamn good, he was invited to play for Real, the greatest club team in the world, at 13. Although, as we mentioned before, Bunny was probably there and scarred him into not being the world's best striker, switching him into being the world's best midfielder. Currently, the greatest midfielder in the world, or one of them, one of the best dribblers in the world, and finally, definitely the greatest passer we've seen so far. I'm so excited to see him play with Japan's U20 team in the future. Some fun facts is he started playing soccer at 1 year old. He has a butt fetish, tough, and believes you can tell a player's athletic ability from their ass. And when asked what he would do with 100 million yen, he said he wasn't interested in such a small amount of money. Bro, he's so tough. I wish I could say that one day. Next up after Sai, though, we have the GOAT, Sendo. Sendo is a perfect example of how an entire fan base can go from hating a character to loving him from just one panel. He was originally the ace striker for Japan's U20 team, but he just simply sucked. Everyone hated him for being a fraud, but then only he and IQ made it through the NEL arc. Then during his 2-week training camp, we all saw him fighting in Venezuela, stealing the ruler or something. This singular panel of him shooting was so goofy and so funny, it actually completely changed my opinion on him. Now, he's goated. Last time he cried was when people were making fun of him online. Come on, bro, get a grip. His hobby is girl hunting, and God, I hope he means women, not girls. Now, a walking HR violation, we have my absolute number 2 favorite goat of the story, only barely behind Isagi, my glorious goat Shido. Shido is a zesty freak who literally lives simply for the sole reason to impregnate the goal Yeah, I'm not joking. He's a miracle worker who, no matter how little chance he has to score, he can almost always pull out some crazy move. Out of everyone in block, Shido was the one Sai chose to be a striker alongside him in the U20 match. Currently on the bench of the Japanese U20 team as an insane Joker card that can be subbed in anytime to make miracles. One of the main reasons he's my favorite character is the fact that everyone in the show is such a try-hard, emo freak. And then there's just Shido, busting on the field and not even caring. Some fun facts is that his favorite player is Zlatan, goated opinion. Favorite manga is Chainsaw Man, which makes sense, honestly. He's the best fighter in the block facility. His morning routine is going onto the balcony naked and soaking up the sunlight, dancing however he likes, and yelling whatever comes to mind. If it was his last day on Earth, he would watch it burn. And then finally, if he was on a deserted island with only one thing, he would bring pink paint so he can make it his island, and he would mix in some blood too. Now we have the absolute goat Shigeo Mizuki in the block second program. Now this is literally not a real character, yet the community loves him because he looks so sped. That's literally it. Now another random side B block character is Shindo. He's a mystery character Barasuda invited from the Netherlands League. That's more or less all we know about him as well. We are cutting through these last few characters quickly, but next up is the Crown Messenger Snuffy, the smartest player tactically in the show, the best mid-division user in the show, and overall best player in the world. Even according to Noel Noah, who people call the best player in the world, when it comes to overall ability, shooting, dribbling, passing, defense, there's no other character more put together than Mark Snuffy, and a former champion who's won in 4 of the 5 major soccer leagues in England, Germany, France, and Spain, and is now competing for Italy. Another original U20 member that sucked a massive wiener, and even worse, it seems bro is a slight furry. Tokamitsu, originally the 3rd ranked player in all of block. Let's be so for real, this guy was never the 3rd best player in block. Sure, he was super strong and whatnot, but he just simply never had what it took to be the world's best striker. Probably out of all 300 players, he had the absolute weakest ego, and considering you need to be the world's greatest egoist, he never had a chance. And a fun fact is that his favorite manga is Dr. Slump by Akira Toriyama. This guy's going way back. Next up is Wakatsuki, another dog shit original U20 member with 0 motion, 0 skills, currently working at McDonald's or something. I don't know. Now for our 3rd to last characters, we have Wanama 1 and 2. Now I genuinely do not give a shit who is who, as in my mind they're just the same characters. They are both on Team W and sucked. One of them somehow made it to the annual arc, but he sucked and got kicked out. Like I said before, it doesn't matter who, because they're basically the same dumbass character. Second to last character on this list, we have Yukimiya, the blind bandit, an extremely good dribbler who just kind of went schizo and Isaki during the Manshine game out of jealousy, but after the match apologized since he realized he was being a monkey. And a weird fun fact about Yukimiya is he seemingly understands German. And now we have finally made it to our last character in block, Zan Tetsu. Literally just a worse Chigiri in every way. Plus, on top of being the dumbest character in the verse. And a fun fact is that in his initial room with Team V, he was the highest rank above Nagi and Reo. But yeah, that's every character in block explained. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.